says the button shows we're live. And our viewership shows we're live because everybody just popped in the channel.
Yep. There's birds chirping.
All zero of them, all the birds. So you can hear the birds.
Yep.
But we don't hear your dogs bark. And these birds are outside in my house on
that's
trees.
good news.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could be raising birds. I can have pet birds. They're a little gross. I mean, I'm not a fan of like pet birds because I think their bathroom cleanup's a little much. But
yeah, it is pretty.
Like, to me, that's the only kind of drawback of them. I mean, the feathers probably be a little bit, but that's like hair. So I mean, you got that with any of the major pets. It's the bathroom needs, I think, are just a little too much for me personally.
Yeah.
And if I was a pirate, I would have been birdless too. I wouldn't have rolled with the bird. Pirate? Yeah, I wouldn't have had my parrot. I'd have been like, nah, I don't want to wash my clothes every 5 seconds.
I think I'd feel weird saying this because I have dogs and I love them very much, so maybe it would be the same with the bird. I don't know. They're dinosaurs, so are they like other lizards where they just kind of are reptiles where they don't have feelings? But
don't have feelings.
Well, you know,
did you see like what was his name, like Django or something?
I did not see it. Missed it.
Yeah, or Ringo, I think his name was.
Ringo, yeah, with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
No, I never saw it. No, but I was thinking, they just live for a really long time. Like that's a huge commitment. Not that
they're numb to feelings.
I feel bad. Well, they live for like over 20 years. What happens? Like you have to make sure that you have a, I don't know.
You know, we're so far off track.
Yeah.
We're so far off track. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, birds. Yeah, Bert, you're right. They do live for a long time. Yeah. I mean, it's like a person. It's like you're just. I mean, I guess it's like a marriage, right? You're like, hey, we're gonna be partners.
Well,
no, we're gonna be partners.
Like kids.
Yeah, it's gonna be more like a kid, but no, you're like, all right, we're gonna be partners, and then you're like, all right, partner, what do you bring to this? Noise, inconvenience.
So. Yep, I'll sit on your shoulder and poop.
Yeah.
On it.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning, Darcy.
Good morning, Jeff.
So, today's crypto day, not bird pet day. We got interesting.
Both.
Yeah, we can. We got interesting topic today. We're going to talk about stablecoins and kind of what they are, and if you've been following the crypto news, what Terra and Luna are, which they just collapsed for about, I think I saw the number at $300 billion. Went to zero. So, oh yeah, big time. And I think they had 80,000 Bitcoins, which we'll get into, that backed their stable coin. And now they're down to, I think I saw 303, 301 Bitcoins. Because trying to save their network and their ecosystem and just all of it. And hopefully we'll get into maybe why that happened, or the things that caused it to happen, and could happen to the other stable coins, which isn't, I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, they're all projects. That's the whole thing. So is it a worthwhile project? Does it make sense? You know, do we need it? So first we got to understand what they are, right?
Yep.
And then we'll see how Terra played into it, and then discuss because there's another big one called Tether that actually I thought was going to be the one that collapsed first. And so if that one was going to be the one that collapsed first, and Luna is the one that actually collapsed first. That's probably not a good thing because Terra was going to do this exact scenario. So now if that one collapses, it won't be good for confidence in crypto. And that's kind of like where the investing part comes from. It's more the confidence that you're going to make some money or that you're going to still have money after you get out or after you look at your
After
bank
you get
account. Yeah, after you get it like the next day. Because, I mean, Luna, Luna was a promising project. It really was. I think Terra's the stablecoin side of it, and then Luna's the regular crypto, and they're tied together. And so
Mhm.
we'll look at that. But that one was one I personally wasn't invested in, luckily, but I wanted to be because it was growing, and it was a little growing a little too fast. That's part of their problems,
Mm.
and so and it's not like they got hacked or anything. Um, it was how the actual process of the stablecoin works, and it went into what's called a death spiral, and it all has to do with confidence in the investment. So we'll look at that.
Yeah, let's look
Um,
at it.
but first, I liked our bird conversation. Still, I hear the birds, and it was still kind of funny. It was like, so let's do something funny. Um, I talked about this, I think maybe just between us, um, last week or on
Oh yeah.
Saturday about if programming languages were from Futurama, were Futurama characters. And so I thought this would be fun to go through. I haven't looked at it yet, so I don't know if it'll be good. But Futurama is in my top 5 of shows. So anything that has that name on it, I always look at.
That's awesome.
And you can usually
Yeah,
trick
I
me into
never
buying
saw it
things.
after it was rebooted. I
Oh,
saw it
it's the
originally.
same. It's
It
just it's perfect. It's the same. Like it never lost anything true to form. I mean it's the same. Each episode is relatively the same. They go on
Yeah.
some silly adventure and a bunch of references to cool obscure things that you may or may not know if you're, part of that pop culture at the time. It's just I think it's a better Simpsons. To me, Simpsons is good. Like it's okay. Um but Futurama is a better Simpsons. That's the way I always look at it. So, what do you think?
Yeah. I haven't watched Simpsons in even longer. I don't know. I totally remember. I feel weird that I was in middle school. I remember like my best friend in middle school could do the Bart voice and like how cool it was. Um, and yeah, I can't even remember the last time I saw Simpsons. So I'm gonna say I do like Futurama more, but you know, it's it also probably because it reminds me when I was older
Hmm,
and
gotcha.
got more of the jokes probably.
It's funny. You're like, I can't remember when I just watched Simpsons. Like, I just watched it Sunday.
That's hilarious. I know, I told
It's
well, and I
funny.
saw on Disney Plus, they had some episodes, and I was totally gonna watch it, and I was like, the new
Yeah.
season of Doom Patrol's all done, or,
Ah.
season 3. I haven't watched it yet, so I went and did that instead. Like, totally opposite.
Yeah. But no, I watch a lot more cartoons probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, Simpsons. Like Simpsons. I mean, it's been on forever. So what are they gonna do that's really different? But that one, I don't get excited to watch. But even just every rerun of Futurama, I'm always like, yeah, it's time to watch it. So I like it. I think it's a dumb show, personally. I mean, like if I'm really critiquing it, I think it's kind of silly, but it's one that I like. So,
It is.
so
I like
Fry
that.
cracks me up, and Bender, Fry and Bender, they
Yep.
kill me.
And I do like that it doesn't matter what they do, they're always the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people
Yep.
get killed off and all these things happen, and then, like, they're in the next episode.
Yeah.
There's yeah, no lessons learned.
Yeah.
Um,
No. Yeah,
and
you're exactly
so
right.
it
There
just
is
makes it
no
fun.
lessons learned. Like there is no growth in those characters.
Yeah, and that's part of their charm. It's like
It
you're
is.
not
Yep.
expecting it to happen. So
Yep.
yeah, no, I told I. I do.
That's an interesting take on it. I never thought of it that way. That a lot of shows, their characters grow and evolve. Now I think the Leela Fry relationship evolved over time. I
Yeah.
think they got together towards the end, but that was just because they need you. You have to cater to viewers, maybe. I don't know. They did weird things with the relationships. I would say that's the only thing later seasons did. But you're right.
Hmm.
Like every other, well, a lot of shows. There's probably other shows that don't have their characters grow, but pretty much most of the ones I think of, all their characters evolve over time. They learn from their lessons, or they become something else, or they have to cater to the audience's needs,
Hmm.
whatever the case is. And no, they never did in the show. They're just
Nope.
the same silly people. So Fry is Pearl, a bit goofy, a bit optimistic, and well-meaning. I personally never programmed in Pearl. I think I wrote maybe like one script in Pearl, maybe. But seems like it's been frozen for over 1,000 years, but still delivers. Yep. Kind, forgiving, but not always quite so bright. You get that in an older language. Accidentally became its own grandfather. Father. Auto vivification. Good friends with Bender. Oh, okay, and Bender is Shell. Okay. So I might have a train in the background. If the birds come through, I hear a train honking now. Leela is go. Strong-willed, powerful, will get you through whatever trouble you're in. Makes all the rules, projecting self-confidence, but is constantly seeking pure confirmation. Actually, a sewer mutant lacks depth perception. Another language man, none of these languages I've worked in. And that's not really common, right? Most of the time I've at least played with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I haven't worked with Go either. So they're showing syntax to do the same thing, I think. Oh no, they're just showing different syntax out of it. I
It'd
wonder
be
what they.
cool if they were doing the same thing.
Yeah, sometimes you get examples like that, but I bet they're doing something cool. We would have to get them in their language and see what they're actually doing. Maybe they show something funny.
Maybe it's like their catchphrase or
Hmm.
something. It takes you to some cool place.
So Bender is Shell, lacks a backup unit, but able to self-assemble, surprisingly versatile, but does not give a single F. Will take you to the suicide booth and steal your money. It needs alcohol to run and largely avoids doing any real work, but can be used to bend anything. Good friends with Fry. It's funny. Oh, that one's actually pretty funny.
That was a good one. Here's
Herbert
one we know.
J. Farnsworth is C. Finally, a language I got to play with. Has been around for a long time. Happy to risk the crew to get the job done. Alternates between brilliance and amoral senility, between being friendly and spiteful. Outcomes often defy known laws of physics. Yep. Has a collection of doomsday devices. Not memory safe. That is all very true. Amy Wong is Ruby. Object oriented, cute, really popular, a bit naive. Had a bit of Fry grafted onto herself for a while. Also had a thing with Bender and Zap. Easygoing, but doesn't do well in difficult situations. Falls over easy. Yeah, Ruby wasn't. That's pretty true on Ruby. I played with it just a tiny bit. Superficially, oh, Herms Conrad is Rust. Man, they're picking a lot of web languages. So whoever wrote this is very familiar with. It's all web languages. Oh, wow, they're really okay. So we're gonna go a little faster. Specifically, you'd expect him to be relaxed, fun, but under the surface awaits a workaholic bureaucrat, always technically correct, the best kind of correct, and at all cost. Does not permit dangling pointers and remains in charge of all resource management. That's funny.
I like that this one doesn't have an example.
PHP, that's one of my early languages, claims to be an expert in many things without having a background in any of them, like human anatomy, reasonable typing, or object injection. Desperate for friendship and attention, exhibits many behaviors commonly considered appalling. Somehow still part of the whole adventure, and as managers wonder, why not Zoidberg? Yeah, that's funny. PHP will get you into trouble. Java. Yes, this is true. I just saw the first words. The pompous, flashy, egotistical leader of a giant, complex war machine, happily willing to sacrifice your time and efforts to overwhelm your opponent with complexity. Brute force and arrogant swagger provide an aura of being a great strategic leader. Nobody ever got fired for hiring Zap, regardless of the outcome. That's so true, Java. Oh my gosh, it's such a hard language. It's not hard. It just, oh, you gotta write so much.
Yeah, I found.
So much.
Yeah.
You've worked in Java, right?
I was trying to learn it, and it was very stressful.
JavaScript. Timid, bashful, easy to exploit. All sorts of weird but generally well-meaning, unexpectedly but generally well-meaning and unexpectedly competent. Can't shed loyalty to and is often left to clean up after Zap. Lacks any internal structure, has a camouflage reflex and a number of other surprising capabilities, but just doesn't seem very appealing. Mom. Mom is C++. Oh, and that was Kiff
Yeah.
Croker. Yeah, he was JavaScript. Kiff. I like Kiff. He's one of my like lower class faves. Dominates the industry while maintaining the public image of benevolence. In reality, ruthless, arrogant, ill-tempered, and megalomaniacal. Has been around for a while. You do not want to work with Mom, but you don't really get a choice here. Machiavellian has a romantic history with Hubert J. Farnsworth, which
He was
was
Russ.
C. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
C.
that's where she came from. That's my language I was birthed in, was C++ and C. Really C and then evolved to C++.
I
The
took a
GP, the
C sharp
GCC
class.
compiler, right? What'd you do? What'd you take?
C sharp.
C sharp.
Mm.
Yep. I didn't get to work with C sharp. I had to work on a Linux. Well, that make it sound bad. It wasn't bad. I worked on a Linux machine. So
Yeah, my teacher was she told me that she thought I had a talent for it, which was really nice.
yeah, it's pretty easy to see. If you can sit still and you get your program to work, you got a talent for it. So no, I'm just
That's
joking.
awesome.
Lur is Python. Oh, this is interesting. Unambitious yet powerful. Trivial defeats Zap. Can easily conquer planets, but doesn't really feel like it most of the time. Gets along surprisingly well with Fry and Leela, but may also try to eat them. Well, I think that is an interesting one because Python is my current fave. So they're saying Python gets along with Perl and Go. Hmm, interesting. I never really came across that. So very, very interesting. Scruffy is AWK. I've never heard of that.
Mm-mm.
Everybody forgets about him, but he's there, doing what he's always done. Secretly in love with a robotic wash bucket. What's AWK?
I don't know. Let's find out.
AWK is a domain specific language designed for text processing and typically used as a data extraction and reporting tool, like SED and grep. I know what grep is. cryptograph or whatever. I don't know how you say it. Is a filter. It is a standard feature of most Unix-like operating systems. Yes, yeah, we don't work on Unix. We're Windows. We're Microsoft-based programmers. Huh. Interesting. Nope, never, ever. I almost was going to say it was assembly, but I didn't know what the other letters would have stood for. So there we go. These are the main characters, but what about others like Morbo, Calculon, Dombot, Clamps, or Barbados Slim? Who would be Lisp? Yeah, I learned that language a long time ago. Swift, Scala, Lua, Haskell. Well, you can always swap them as you see fit using the mathematically proven King-Keeler's theorem, and you can also go pick your favorite so long as it's Hypnotoad. All the glory to Hypnotoad. That was a good one. Can't relate to half the languages, but the other half I could. And I thought they were pretty accurate, so.
That was fun. I like, even if we didn't know, that it was fun seeing the reading the little captions. I liked it.
So we have Death to Crypto today.
Oh boy.
1.28. I think 2 weeks ago we were at one. Well, maybe not. 3 weeks ago we were at 1.7,
Yep. Yep, something like that.
and then we
2.5,
dropped.
3 weeks.
And so we have Bitcoin sitting at 29,797. That is a bargain for those people buying the dips. And then we have a bunch of other coins. But one coin we don't see anymore is Tether. That used to sit very nicely, I think, right up here. Or not Tether. Um I meant
I was gonna say I thought we were
Terra.
talking about.
Yeah, Tether's the other one. Terra used to sit right up here, and Luna used to sit right up in here. So it gave room for these other ones to take its spot, but not its money, because its money has now evaporated. So what is? Well, first what is Terra, according to them? Programmable
According
money
to
for the internet. Huh? What were you saying?
Terra, according to Terra.
Yeah, Terra, according to Terra. This wonderful project that is thick with sarcasm for those people that maybe are just tuning in, and think I'm promoting Terra. Please stay away right at the moment. If it ever comes back, maybe it'll be good again. But Terra is a public blockchain protocol deploying a suite of algorithmic decentralized stablecoins which underpin a thriving ecosystem. Wow, I did so well reading the comic, but now I can't read this.
It's because you don't have anything to relate to.
That brings DeFi to the masses. And
So what is a stable coin again? It's backed by actual
yep, so
currency.
this is where Terra is. So they sound great. So what is a stablecoin? Definition: a stablecoin is a digital currency that is pegged to a stable reserve asset like the US dollar or gold.
Okay.
Sorry, had to burp.
Oh.
Um,
I was like, that was a big drink.
no, that was just a burp. So now I need to follow it up with a drink. But stable coins are designed to reduce volatility relative to unpegged currencies like Bitcoin. Okay?
Okay.
So the idea is that for every coin, let's say for every dollar coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll see how it's a dollar. It is backed by a US dollar. Easy?
Okay. Yes.
So if you have 1 million coins, you have $1 million sitting in a bank somewhere or underneath your mattress, wherever they keep it. You know,
Like, this
everybody
is safe.
everybody has their own secret place.
Mhm. Yeah,
um,
hopefully not under the bed.
well, it depends on your thoughts on government. You might need to, well, then why
Well,
do
at
you?
least in a
Yeah, I was
fire
gonna say,
safe
why are you
place.
holding dollars if you're if you're
Yeah.
worried about the government?
You're
But
like, I got my gold under the bed.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Bad jokes, bad jokes. So, stable coins bridge the worlds of cryptocurrency and everyday fiat currency because their prices are pegged to a reserve asset like US dollar or gold. That's what we just read. So they just repeated the same
Yes.
sentence. This dramatically. That's what you just said.
Next.
Yeah, next. Why are they important? The USDC stablecoin, for example, is backed by a dollar denominated asset of at least equal fair value to the USDC and segregated accounts with blah blah blah. So basically, they're saying they're verified. You know, that money's sitting there, it's verified. The reason that I called out Tether is because Tether's tied to a company that was under investigation by the SEC, and that's Ripple. And by all accounts, Ripple has not done anything wrong, and they're gonna get exonerated, but it seems to still be dragging out. I think. I don't know. But they're like, no, there's nothing, and so there was nothing there. But what came to light was because they controlled Tether, is they had to disclose publicly how Tether was actually backed, and it wasn't backed how everybody thought it was. There was a legitimate one-to-one backing of it, I believe, or it wasn't all the way there, but it's irrelevant. It was just the fact that it wasn't like gold or US dollars. It was also like, I think, other cryptocurrencies, and I think it was like stocks and bonds and just a whole bunch of other stuff that people just didn't expect to see. And because then those are variable too, and so then what's it really backed by? And it was just kind of questioned, but they had to disclose everything. And if the SEC didn't find any wrongdoing by them in their main company, that means they also didn't find any wrongdoing in their Tether company. So, kind of by virtue of the one being exonerated, the other one got instilled with a little more confidence that they weren't doing anything shady. So, it's kind of interesting on that if you follow that whole little story that's over there. But because that's what everybody's waiting on for the SEC to say that there's no problem, and then all the people that have bought I think it's XRP, I think is their coin. But I don't have any, and then their coins will be worth a lot more, something like that. I don't know. It's just an interesting story, and it's the only major cryptocurrency company that the U.S. government's openly going after right at the moment. And so everybody was watching to see how that would pan out, because if they found them being shady and doing a bunch of bad stuff, then that wouldn't look good for all the other ones, because there's always that narrative that um, criminals and it's like cryptocurrencies are used for bad things, but it's like just the same amount as regular money. It's like 1%, 10, whatever percentage of activity with that with that currency is being used for bad stuff. So that's what is interesting. And so then here, um, they're just saying it's just backed and verified that that money really exists. And then if you come over and look at these coins, so in the case of Tether, it's pegged at $1. Right now, it's a little bit off, and so we'll see how it gets adjusted. Now, what happened when this Luna crash? It affected everything. It spooked everybody, and so we're gonna look at 1 month. We can look as far out as you want, right? It's been $1. It hovers above and below, and you'll see why in a minute. But then all of a sudden, according to it crashed. It crashed to 97 cents. But that's a big deal because it came off its dollar peg. And And so now everybody that held this, it wasn't worth $1 anymore. But there's like incentives to sell it back and things like that. But so that's kind of like what's going on with stable coins. So what can you do with stable coins? It minimizes volatility. You trade or save assets. You don't need a bank account to hold stable coins. They're easy to transfer, can be sent around. US is going to make a stable coin. I mean, every country is going to make their currency in a stable coin. That's really, I would be surprised if that doesn't happen, right? Because they're going to say, hey, they back it with their actual printed money. You can use this digital currency and or our printed money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. It keeps them relevant. Eventually, they transition off of printed money, blah, 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 right? That's where, as long as we don't blow ourselves up between now and then, you know, that's where the world will go, right? I mean, really, if we don't do something to ourselves, if you look at the trend of how things will more than likely go in the next hundreds of years, right? We're going to move out of printing because, you know, it takes a lot of resources and money's kind of pointless. You know, there's a point to it, but if you really reorganize how the world worked, you wouldn't need money. And so switching it to a digital currency just makes sense. And they can control it better. They can take it away from people. They can make it inactive. I mean, to me, if I was wanting to control a bunch of people or run a government, a digital currency would be a lot easier to use than printed money. You know, people wouldn't be able to hide it, or like, I don't know. I think if you tracked it and you thinking of how you could program it, I don't know. It makes sense. So stable coins are gonna, I think, become more prevalent. It's just kind of like what the US dollar was, a stable coin, a stable fiat currency at one point, right? Wasn't it backed by gold?
Who?
The US dollar?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it was the gold standard, right?
Yep. I mean, it's kind of the same idea, right?
Yeah.
It's just backed by something that people trust, and people trusted gold at the time. And then it came to light when in the 70s, 80s, that it wasn't a one-to-one backing anymore. We had printed significantly more money than what was backed in Fort Knox.
Yep.
And then that was a big shock. And then after that, like, people were like, whatever. And then I'm sure they're just like, okay, now we can get rid of all our gold. Cool. We don't need this sitting here anymore.
Free up some space.
Yep, free up some space. So, I don't know. So you can earn interest that's, you know, typically higher than what a bank would offer. So holding the stable coins. Again, it's because then your money is the backing, right? You gave them $1 for the dollar coin. If they're doing it on the up and up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can transfer money because it's cheaper to transfer digital stuff than with dollars, and transfer internationally, low processing fees, blah, blah, blah. All the things that we talk about with digital currencies, right? Any questions?
Nope. That was helpful.
Break time?
Huh?
Quick break?
Yeah. Quick break.
Cool. Let's see. Quick break music. We should have faster music. That's funny. All right, we got some music going. Programming. Quick break over. Have we ended our quick break? All right. So we learned about what is a stable coin, what are stable coins, and how do they work. We just learned that. Key takeaways. That's nice. I always like articles that don't make you have to read them. Designed to maintain price stability. Yeah. They're pegged to traditional assets such as fiat currencies or gold, making them less volatile. Promising faster transactions. They allow traders to keep their money in the
You
crypto. Yeah.
started without me?
No, I was
Rude.
just. I asked you, and you responded like you normally respond.
With
With
silence?
silence. You're like, yep. And I was like, you ready to go? And I said, quick break
Mhm.
over, and everybody, all the viewers agreed.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I just do what the community asked me to do.
Whatever. Next time I won't take a picture of my dog sleeping.
is,
Just hurry and come
that,
back.
is that what you stopped for?
Yeah.
You stopped to
Well,
take
I had to
a
get coffee,
dog
but then
selfie.
Oliver was so cute. He was all cuddled up. His little, I don't know, his little feet were all around his face, and it was so sticky cute. And then, anyway, so yeah. Sorry. Just needed an extra minute.
It wasn't. It's the same thing. I was reviewing the next 3 tabs that are the same. Man, oh,
Oh,
I'm in trouble now.
oopsies.
You're gonna have to talk to your wife, right?
My wife.
Yeah, the background image. That's
Mm.
like your eggplant wife.
That's
The inside
hilarious.
joke
Yeah.
that nobody. I think we talked about
But
it.
I always forget about. I haven't used that background in a long time.
I know it's the best. It's the
And I
best.
have
So
to start
you'll have to
doing
look
that.
at one of our early videos because I think when we were first doing stuff, we had backgrounds because we were
Yep.
like, "Ooh, that'd be cool to like have a where we are today and where we were as we're internet famous now." You
Yeah, we have 20 subscribers.
know? I know. And 18 of them watched our video. Woo woo.
I know. That
No,
was awesome. That
I
felt
doubt
good.
that. It's probably like Um, it's probably Craig. He feels bad for us, and he just watches the same videos over. He puts it on a loop at work,
And
and
just
that's it.
watches it
He
all
just
day.
like watches it, but then
What
he
a
just
good
has it
friend.
on mute, you know. So he doesn't even really watch it. It's just playing. He's just like, man, they're not doing anything I'm asking them to do. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna help them out a little bit.
Yep.
Cool.
That's nice. Thanks, Greg.
Yep. Thanks, Craig. So the only thing that was gained out of this article was it just allows you to keep the crypto ecosystem, keep your money in the crypto ecosystem, which is, something, once you have it in the digital currencies, then you can trade it around. Um, what is a stable coin according to CoinDesk? Let's see, same thing. In a nutshell, they try to tackle price fluctuations by trying to value cryptocurrencies to other more stable assets, usually fiat currencies. Cool, fiat, for those that may not know, is government issued currency we're all used to. Usually, the entity behind the stablecoin will set up a reserve. Yeah, that's a pretty good explanation. And back it. 1 million in old fashioned in the bank, 1 million units of stablecoin. Man, they used my example. They must have wrote this right after I said it.
Yep.
This is one
Clearly.
way. What? What'd you say?
Clearly.
Clearly.
Yep.
And so the money in reserve just serves as collateral for the stablecoin, meaning whenever a stablecoin holder wishes to cash out their token, an equal amount of whichever asset backs it is taken from the reserve. There is a more complex type of stablecoin that is collateralized by other cryptocurrencies rather than fiat, yet still is engineered to track mainstream asset like the dollar. Well, that other one is the problem.
Mhm. That's what we were talking about before.
Okay, so here's one. Maker. No, seems maybe. Oh yeah, a third. Theirs is the third, the algorithmic. So yeah, this one's a really good coin dusted. Good job. Maker perhaps is the most famous stablecoin. So here's the second one. Issuer that uses this mechanism to accomplish this through a service called Vault, which locks up a user's cryptocurrency collateral. Then, once the smart contract knows the collateral is secure, a user can now use it to borrow freshly minted DAI. Okay. So they lock up, you provide Bitcoin as your collateral. I'm just using that as an example. And once you I guess you transfer it over to their wallet is probably how you lock it up, or maybe a wallet that you both have access to. I don't know. Because you wouldn't, if I was the company loaning out, basically providing the loan, then I wouldn't want the other person to have access to it,
Hmm.
in any way.
Yeah.
And then if I was the other person, I wouldn't want them just to keep it. If I was the borrower, I wouldn't want them just to keep it. So that's interesting. But once it's locked up, so it's just like basically you're getting a prepaid credit card, right? So you're allowed to borrow, you're allowed to get cryptocurrency from whatever they allow. So they have their stable coin. So that's an interesting one. I'm okay with that. A third variety of the stablecoin is known as an algorithmic stablecoin. It isn't collateralized at all. Instead, coins are either burned or created to keep the coin's value in line with the target price. Interesting. That sounds like fiat money,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That they control the supply. And I thought that's what the US government does with our currency. They pull back or they print more, right? When, different market conditions dictate it or they just need money.
Yep.
Yeah, like, okay, hey, let's loan ourselves some money. And it's like, yeah, cool. Little print machine, money tree. Shake it a little bit. Let's say the stable coin drops from the target price of $1 to 75 cents. The algorithm will automatically burn a tranche of coins to introduce more scarcity, pushing up the price of the stablecoin. This type of stablecoin protocol is difficult to get right and has been tried and has failed several times over recent years. Yet, entrepreneurs keep trying. When was this written?
Sure.
Wow. Just somebody see the few. Somebody call.
I can't hear you anymore. Are you
I
not
muted
talking?
myself. I
Oh,
muted myself. Yep.
okay.
Okay. Where'd you lose me at? Oh, wow.
You said, yeah.
So here is Tara's chart for the last 3 months. This is somebody almost saw the future. So March 9th is way back here. So things still went well. And just a few months later, cratered. Done.
Yep.
That's it. It's over. I mean, they got. That's what we'll talk about here in a second. They got
So
plans to
Terra
revive them.
was the algorithmic.
I think Terra is the stablecoin side of it. Which one is it? Because they have. Yeah. I think they called it Terra. I forget how they showed. because now they're all just gone from everywhere. But the other one was Luna, and so Luna's the balancer one. So basically, we'll talk about let's just talk about it real quick. So what is Terra Luna? It's a blockchain protocol that uses fiat pegged stable coins. No, it doesn't. It kind of does. To power price stable global payment systems. Blah blah. Terra's native token, Luna, is used to stabilize the price of the protocol's stablecoins. Luna holders are also able to submit and vote on changes, giving it the functionality of a governance token. So it had a few purposes. I mean, it was cool, kind of. Terra
Hmm.
seeks to set itself apart through its use of fiat pegged stablecoins, stating that it combines the borderless benefits. Blah blah blah. Terra has established a number of partnerships. UST, there it is. Um, so it was UST was the name of it, and the Luna token and UST are mutually dependent, as the success of the Terra ecosystem is a function of the adoption of UST as a stablecoin. Luna backs UST and is burned when demand for UST rises. Following upgrades like Columbus 5, the supply of Luna could become highly deflationary in the long run. On the flip side, the value of Luna can also decrease if UST is perceived unstable. UST briefly lost its peg following the wormhole hack, leading to a temporary price crash of Luna. This seriously sounds like a house of cards.
So this isn't. So it had crashed before,
That's what they're saying
or is that
because
okay?
let's look.
Because it's not this crash. It's not this crash that they're talking.
They're saying it crashed somewhere else before. I don't know where this hack was. I don't see a major crash because this probably coincides with. Yeah, yeah. This is probably it. There wasn't a big crash this year. Like I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, this is about the time the market sucked, but this is. We'd have to look at another chart. I don't know if this time frame is exactly, but this might be it. This is the biggest crash I see out of their whole thing. So, and they talk about it like it was recent. So yeah, do we have that coin still? Can we look it up? UST. Oh, we can. It's officially halted. Yeah. All the that's why you can't deal with it anymore. They've shut it basically down. So it could have been no. This is that's the pandemic. I'm guessing that's right before the pandemic. This might be it, but that's what it looked like forever. So their stablecoin looked like that, and if people want to give back their stablecoins, which means you would have more supply, and they would burn the Luna, which one then would drive because the price would drop of the stable coin, and then creating the scarcity would make it go back up. So that's how they would keep it steady on the $1.
Mm-hmm. It didn't work out so well.
No, because what are the 5 points? Oh, we just get slides. Oh, we got subscribe. Dang it. Oh well. I'm just trying to see if they. Okay, yep. Here we go. So 1 UST could always be exchanged for $1 worth of Luna. even if UST fell below $1. The idea was that if UST depegged to 99 cents, traders would buy up huge sums of UST and exchange them for Luna. The system broke on May 8th when 2 billion in UST was extracted at once, with hundreds of millions that sold. UST depegged to 98 cents, and the mechanism of exchanging UST for Luna couldn't keep up. That resulted in investors losing confidence in the system for both UST and Luna to crash. UST is currently trading at 13 cents, just over a tenth of its intended value, and Luna is about a 50th of a penny. Over 15 billion in crypto was wiped from the crash. The CEO of Terraform Labs, Du Quan, thinks he has a solution. On Monday, he proposed a plan to fork the blockchain. In essence, this means a creation of a new blockchain that's modeled on the previous one with some key changes. The new blockchain would be created alongside a billion Luna tokens, which would be distributed among current Luna and UST holders, as well as fund development for new Terra apps. The plan needs to be voted on by Luna owners with a vote scheduled for Wednesday. If it passes, the fork could occur May 27th. The creation of a billion Luna would be a reset for the cryptocurrency, which is struggling with hyperinflation. Over 6.5 billion Luna tokens are now in circulation. It's just going to create more. Up from 343 million the week before Luna's crash. The inflation is caused by Luna's relationship with UST. Owners exchanged billions worth of UST to Luna so that it could be sold for Ether or put into a stablecoin that's actual stable, causing billions of new Luna to be minted in the process.
Whoops.
So his plan is, I would say, a pretty typical developer plan, right?
Yeah.
Let's throw that system away. Let's start
Yeah.
a new one. Like, oops. But yeah. And that's all it took. 98 cents. 2 pennies. 2 pennies. And boom, collapse.
Yeah.
And that's that. That project's over. They tried to save it, but it's done. I don't even think the new one will be tough. Because then do you have confidence in it?
Yeah.
That's why
No.
it's important to understand what is going on as best as you can, right?
Yep.
I don't know. That one just read bad, right?
Yeah, it did.
I think the stable coins, I mean, any of the ones.
I wish we would have read this one before. And
Oh,
just to see, like, go back and see what we talked about it. And
yeah,
if we
it's the best.
This makes so much sense. I love
That's
it.
what all these people were thinking. Look,
Mhm.
look at that. Over the course of 2020, so yeah, it's $15, $29, $40, $60. Then you had a peak at 12, 24, 21 at $98. So almost $100 a coin. Things are great. Oh no, we have a crash, right?
Mhm.
Then there's a trick. It gets better than it's ever been. $116. And then we have our current problems in the market, right?
Yep.
So this is just what everybody else is seeing. And they seem to be doing all right, right? They came back and then destabilization. And it was swift. I mean, there was no time for that. Here one day, gone the next.
Gone later the same day.
Yeah, gone later the same day. Yeah, you're right. 5-9 was a bad day there. So, and if you believe in the project, hold on to your stuff. It looks like they're trying to save it.
Yeah.
But if you don't believe in it, I wouldn't see it as a good. I mean, usually, like this is where if you look here, people trying to play off the investment. If they were for a minute. Right here, see, like, no, it's not dying. Like, I think these are just traders trying to make some money. Done.
Like...
So that's it. That's the story of stablecoins. Not this crash, but that is how stablecoins work. So we still have Tether up here as a stablecoin. We have USDC, another stablecoin. We have Binance as stablecoin. So who's USDC?
So since Tether says UST, is that also that's similar to Terra?
No, that's Tether's, right? Tether.
But it's set up the same way, or
Yeah.
is it just
Tether's the one that's backed for real. No, it's not an algorithm.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's an algorithmic one.
Gotcha.
Tether's actually, that's the one part of that XRP and the Ripple. See, it's part of this guy, this company, Ripple. I don't know who makes this one though. Is it Coinbase's? Yeah, it's Coinbase. So they do an exchange. So Binance is an exchange, and Coinbase is an exchange. Coinbase actually trades their stock on the U.S. stock market. So then they're under extra scrutiny. So that's interesting. So you have, these two are stable coins, and this one's a stable coin. And so two out of the three are backed by exchanges. I don't think Ripple's an exchange. I think it's just a cryptocurrency. But that's interesting. So it's a little different. And then you got other ones. I think anything with kind of not with a C on the end. I was almost going to say that, but there's Terra. Wow, it's still in the top 25. Interesting. But yep, if you want to learn more, read all about stablecoins.
Well, that we learned a lot today. I learned a lot today.
So did the mushrooms.
They did?
Mm-hmm. They were listening. They listened to everything. They're probably our main subscribers.
Yep, that makes sense.
We'll talk about them. I don't think they like us talking about them.
Well, we don't scare that easy.
Speak for yourself.
Maybe we do.
I do. I'm scared of the mushrooms. I see them all over the place when I walk in the woods. And some of them aren't so friendly. They don't taste good.
Nope. That's true.
All right. I hope everybody has a nice week.
Yeah, I do too. My nephew's coming today.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yep. It will be good. You'll see. You'll all see.
We'll all see. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.